All right. Welcome everyone to this week's CFO Swinger Watch. So it's been a crazy week. The market is showing unrelenting strength. All right, and we are just heading towards all-time highs, and we actually hit a new all-time high number last week on Friday, $418.25. All right, now for me, I honestly believe that around 418 through 420-ish, that might be our top, our intermittent market top for now, as we are in dire need for consolidation. And we're actually seeing that, as let me remove this error here, we're seeing some cracks in the buyers. Okay, as we're seeing some sell-off days that are showing some incredible selling volume. All right, and that's telling me that we are indeed going to be seeing some sideways action that we really need. All right, so on these distribution days, especially this one on Thursday, where we saw an immense amount of volume. Let me actually bring this down here. Drag this down. The volume was around 97 million, which is way over the average volume of 79 million. Okay, and you guys can see this right to the left, top left here. Okay, and so my kind of market insight for the next few weeks or next few months would be that we are going to see a continuation of this market upside move. Okay, but in order for us to do that, okay, we really need to see those big sell-off days and some nice downward moves in order to see that continuation of an uptrend. And we need to revisit these previous levels of resistance that we just blasted through to the top side. All right, and bounce on top of it, making it into a new support. Okay, so and if you guys are ever confused what I'm saying in the video, I highly recommend you guys to either join the 4 weeks program. Okay, there's a new round going underway right now. Okay, and or you can just get my book, The Beginner's Trading Guide. It goes through all the basics, the fundamental knowledge you need to know in order to understand. It's basically what I'm saying right now. Okay, so now, it seems like we do want to make some type of a bull flag here, or at least, go sideways and start range trading here. Okay, and the most recent support that actually the most established support so far that we have currently is around $411 here. Okay, so we have this range from $411 to around 418.20-ish range there. Okay, so we can potentially see a lot of volatile days as you kind of swing back and forth between these two areas or these two levels. All right, so this 410 area is our demand area, our area of demand. Okay, and this $418 level is our area of supply. Okay, this is where we have a lot of sellers. Okay, now with that in mind, okay, let's go over the names in the CFO Signal Watch. Okay, there's a lot of ER names reporting, so I do want to just focus on the grade A, really great chart setup names. Okay, instead of focusing on all those tech names, on those big tech names that are reporting their earnings and trying to gamble my way to make some good profits overnight. Okay, and I'm not here to gamble. I want to make sure I manage my risk correctly and in my way, okay, in my discipline systems way. Okay, so I'll be looking at specific names only, okay, that have good chart setups. And a good chart setup that I have for you guys is Shoals. Okay, SHLS is a ticker symbol. Okay, and like I said last week, and I did get my confirmation that as the money is kind of rotating out from these big tech names as they're getting prepared to capture the gains that they got already and take it out before it could be potentially lost from an earnings move reaction. Okay, they're starting to put their money back into those beaten up electric vehicle or EV and solar names. Okay, so as you guys already know, last week Neo was our winner in the watch list, right? A big winner. And it's an electric vehicle name, right? And last week we saw both of their sectors, right? The solar and the EV, and basically the whole green sector starting to bounce back. And as buyers start to come back in and pushing these sellers out, all right? And so we're seeing a lot of exhaustion from sellers across all these EV and solar names, all right? So this could be a potentially a very nice investment opportunity, or even a swing trading opportunity um, for you guys, as you guys can rotate your money in your portfolios towards these names. And so shows this IPO name, okay, is looking very promising here, as we are starting to see some type of a descending triangle here, okay. But the descending triangle is a chart pattern that's usually bearish, okay, but it seems like we want to break out to the upside as we're kind of hugging this resistance level here, this resistance trend line, this descending resistance trend line here, okay. And so as we are seeing my SMAs here, as you guys already know in the past few videos, my 10 and the 21 SMAs are my momentum SMAs. So if the candlesticks are on top of it, on this side, on top of the both the 10 and 21, it's telling me that in the short term, right, we're going to see a continuation, or a push up to the top side, and we're going to see a nice uptrend. Okay. Now the only obstacle here is our newly formed 50-day SMA here, as we have passed 50 days since this was in the market. Okay. So if you just go past this the 50 SMA, okay, with enough buying volume, and right now the volume has kind of died off, which is perfect for buyers to come in really strong, okay, and that's exactly what I want, okay, so that we can push past this $35 level, which will be around our entry that I put on our newsletter here, okay. Now let's look at Dow. Okay, so DAL, Delta Airlines. Okay, so my kind of thesis here, okay, is that Delta Airlines will continue to come back to the COVID levels here, pre-COVID levels. All right, as we've already came back to the February levels here when we initially started that sell-off from COVID, from the news of COVID and how it's going to change our society as things went into lockdown and economic the economy around the whole world were starting to close down, right? And so this is indicative of a very nice economic recovery as we are looking to fully reopen as summer travel starts to heat up. Okay, so these flight numbers that people are booking are going to be very, very important, and also with alongside with cruise lines. All right, so this Delta Airlines. All right, I'm looking at this name because it's looking pretty interesting so far on the technical side, right? As we're looking at like at a mini bear flag here, so it's kind of giving us a shorting opportunity, but at the same time we are bouncing at some key support levels. Okay, which are previous support levels here around $43. Okay, so if these buyers are able to hold this $40, right, and eventually push past above this $46 here, for a $6 level here, we can potentially kind of see a move right past $50 and continue up higher, and continue this uptrend that we've been seeing here. If I kind of give a generalized a trend here, this uptrend, okay, and it looks like we're at a nice inflection point, okay, from this uptrend here. As you guys can see, we have three inflection points in total now here, so we can see a potential bounce, and we're seeing that type of activity from last week. Okay, so but if this breaks to the downside, then it breaks to the downside. All right, so it's you just can't be stuck on one bias, and just you should be able to quickly switch back to another bias, especially if the price is showing something else and it's negating your inherent bias that you may have on a specific name. Now let's look at Facebook. Okay, so Facebook is one of those big tech social media names that have earnings this week on, I believe, April 28th on Wednesday after hours. Okay, and I actually don't know their implied mood that they're looking to have, but I'll make sure to include that in the newsletter. Okay, but Facebook. Okay, Facebook's showing a nice bull flag here. Okay, and this chart pattern is forming to tell us traders that it may want to see some type of a continuation of this uptrend it had after it broke out this huge, huge monthly flag that dates back to July 2020. Okay, so I still believe this still has some steam to run. However, it's very, very close to earnings. Okay, and I never want to hold onto earnings because that's a whole gamble. It's a 50-50 ratio, risk to reward ratio, and that's a really bad ratio to have. Okay, and so for me, I will not be holding this overnight after hours during earnings day on Wednesday on April 28th. Okay, so I'll just be looking for a quick a overnight trade from Monday to Tuesday, or maybe from Monday to Wednesday morning. Okay, so that'll be a 2 day or overnight swing trade. Okay, now what we're seeing here is a nice bull flag happening here. As we can see, we have this flagpole here. Okay, let's make that green, and we have our little tiny flag like this, right? So this can be a make or break event here, as we can break down to the downside as we're heading up to earnings. But usually from the past history of what I've seen on tickers, on stocks, excuse me, it's it's mostly a run up to earnings. All right. So this could be a potential nice 2 day or overnight swing play. Okay. Now I have some other names I'm looking at, like Tesla and Neo, because Neo has earnings, I believe, on Thursday after hours or pre-market. I have to check again, but I did give you guys that earnings calendar, and you guys know how filled up it is with earnings, and that calendar is not even showing the rest of the earnings because it's only showing the most anticipated earnings. So that's something that you guys should be looking out for. I'll also be looking at other solar names as well. Okay, and continue to watch those green sectors. Okay, but yeah, so that's it for this week. Just stay focused on these names and other names that you may be looking at. Just try to stay away from trying to play earnings names, even though it's very it's enticing to try to play earnings, as it's like a gamble, right? It's like a casino, right? You can either get black or white, or you can black or red, or you can it's the same thing as whether or not you can nail that entry before earnings, and it goes in your favor to the upside or maybe to the downside. Okay, so good luck on your trading, and I'll see you guys next week.